The full body split is perhaps the least popular and the most misconstrued split out of all splits. It does not sound biomechanically sexy as the push-pull legs. It does not enjoy the wide public exposure as the bro split. And it even does not receive the full endorsement from many senior fitness experts. Heck, even when I first started my training, I thought there was just no way that I would hop on this most illogical split out of all training splits. But the truth is, I've been training on a full body split for quite a few months now, and I do believe that unless my training philosophy or training environment has fundamentally changed, I will stay on this split for the rest of my life. So, how did I change my mind? Why did I transition from a naysayer to a follower? Well, the devil is in the details. And today, it is time to have a proper examination of the most nuanced split, the full body split. Welcome to Fast Track Gains. I'm here to help you accelerate your gains. This is the fourth episode of my sixth series, Training Splits. Okay, full body split. Why do I call it the most nuanced split? Well, unlike the bro split, which divides training sessions by body parts, or push-pull legs that divides training sessions by movement patterns, there's no division whatsoever in full body split. You train the whole body all at once. Chest, arms, shoulders, back, glutes, quads, hamstrings. Every body part will be included in the same training session. And at first glance, this is a very daunting idea to the majority of hypertrophy trainees, particularly the beginners. What? I've just mounted enough courage to do some weight training. And now you are telling me that I need to train my whole body in one session. How many exercises do I have to do? How many sets do I have to do? How long will the session last? Can I even survive the next morning when I just wake up? And if it is still possible, can I just chicken out right now? Look, I get this sentiment completely. Weight training can be very overwhelming, and if you're a beginner who have watched videos of people benching 300 pounds, squatting 400 pounds, and deadlifting 500 pounds, and you are just running a picture like this in your head. I have to train all these hardcore lifts in one session, and on top of that, I have to add in other exercises for my arms and shoulders and abs. How is that even possible? There's just no way that anyone can survive this kind of training, not even the most hardcore lifters, and I'm only just a beginner. This split has got to be the most stupid training split out of all splits. Even the bro split is way more logical than this lunatic full body split. Well, you are right in a lot of regards. Not even the most hardcore lifters will bench 300 pounds, squat 400 pounds, and deadlift 500 pounds in the same training session for a long period of time. Nobody can survive this kind of training, and there's just no way that someone will have enough energy to do loads of accessory work after all the hardcore lifts. Okay, I've given you enough credit. Now let me tell you where you're wrong. What if I told you to bench 150 pounds, squat 200 pounds, and deadlift 250 pounds within the same training session? Suddenly, the training becomes much more imaginable to some people. Personally, I can tell you that I can do all of these three lifts with medium reps in one training session and have no problem throwing some isolation exercises after. Sure, it does not look as hardcore as lifting the double amount of weight in the same training session, but hey, it still trains the whole body, so it is still technically a full body split. And what if I take one more step and change the weight training equipment as well? I know I said in my previous video that the beginners should stick to free weights because only in free weights can establish a real foundation for you. But instead of sticking to free weights version of bench, squat, and deadlift, I'm only going to ask you to do machine chest press, machine neck press, and machine glute ham raise, and throw in some dumbbell curls and some lateral raises after. Now suddenly, the training becomes even more imaginable to more people. I'm sure some of you who have never trained previously may even say this: yeah, I think I can do that. That's not so difficult for me. Sure, this version seems even less hardcore than the version before. But hey, it still trains the whole body, so it is still technically a full body split. You see what I'm trying to get here? There's so many different versions of the full body split. And the picture you are running in your head, bench 300 pounds, squat 400 pounds, and deadlift 500 pounds, is only one version of it. And it's the most rare and extreme version. Sure, this version will draw the most eyeballs, but it also means that you are just ignoring all the other endless versions of the same split. And out of all the other endless versions, many are logical and productive training splits that can be used for a lot of people. That's why I call the full body split the most nuanced split, because this split has to consider the most parameters out of all training splits and is therefore the most context dependent. Now, to be fair, all these parameters matter to all other splits as well, albeit to a lesser degree. But for the full body split, every parameter has a substantial impact, and it is the combination of all the parameters that makes the full body split the most nuanced split. Number one, training environment. Will you be training in your home gym, or in a park, or in a fully equipped commercial gym? If your training environment only has limited equipment for you, then a lot of versions of the full body split will simply be inaccessible to you, which will bring us to number two. Number two, training equipment selections. Provided you are training in a fully equipped commercial gym and you have ample equipment choices, will you choose free weight exercises or cable exercises or machine exercises? As each category all has its inherent strengths and weaknesses, you want to strategize your choice to cater your own training circumstances. Number three, training weight and reps. Will you do heavy weight and 4 to 6 low reps, or medium weight 8 to 15 reps, or lightweight 20 plus reps? The recovery demand on above three combinations is vastly different. Number four, training frequency. This one is relative to point number two and number three, but also quite different. How often do you want to train? Twice a week, 3 times a week, 4 times a week, or even higher than that? How fast can you recover? Depending on your training phase and your own recoverability, this parameter has to be adjusted as well. Number five, training phase. Are you at beginner phase where you can put muscle easily with relatively low volume and lightweight? Are you at intermediate phase where you have to ramp up your training volume and keep pushing the weight? Are you at advanced phase where you have to push on high volume but do not have to push so hard on the weight? As you can see, these 5 parameters, they're all interconnected to each other, and depending on the combination, you could have either well-designed full body split program or utterly ridiculous full body split program. And that's why it is quite arbitrary and premature to think that full body split as the most illogical split if you have not considered all the above parameters thoroughly. But just to play devil's advocate, personally, I do not think any version of full body split would work really well for an intermediate, because intermediate phase training is actually a little bit like watered down version of benching 300 pounds, squatting 400 pounds, and deadlifting 500 pounds. Your easy newbie gains are already finished, and yet you have not earned the right as an advanced to say, I can rely more on volume than the weight. Because of that, you have to go really hardcore as an intermediate, and that requires tremendous amount of concentration, both mentally and physically. Because of that, it makes more sense for intermediates to use push-pull legs or upper and lower split with clear division as an organic guidance to channel your focus so you can really push yourself in every training session in order to grind through the grueling intermediate phase. However, a few versions of full body split can work exceptionally well for beginners and advanced, and we will resume our examination of the most nuanced split in the next episode. Please stay tuned. Alright guys, please like this video and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.